Hello, and welcome to the channel. The Leaders Coffee Club aims to help educate and grow current and future leaders. In today's video we are going to discuss 15 rookie errors new bosses make. Before we move on to the next step, do like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Helping you avoid the pitfalls that others have encountered on the path to leadership. You'll be the boss sooner or later in your career, and most likely later, for obvious reasons. You will suddenly be at the top, whether through a promotion or a new hire. The buck now truly stops with you. While having new powers and responsibilities is exciting, it can also be difficult to adjust to the new role. Here are 15 rookie mistakes to avoid if you want to be the big cheese. Favoritism among friends. You could be promoted to a leadership position or hired from outside, but one thing is certain, you'll either have friends around you or make new ones quickly. In either case, exercise caution with these friendships. It's difficult, if not impossible, to separate a great friendship from a professional relationship. If a good friend does something bad for the company at work, you must punish that person just as severely as any other employee. So, if the colleague with whom you play golf every weekend truly deserves that raise or promotion, make sure you have everything documented. Making too much of an effort to be liked. New bosses can be like puppies at times. They run around the office, always smiling, desperately trying to make everyone smile. This isn't going to work. In fact, it will most likely become irritating after a while, and if you continue, it will become downright disruptive. You are not required to be liked or loved by your coworkers. If you do a good job and treat them like valuable employees, it will come naturally without you having to buy breakfast every morning and tell jokes at the water cooler. Allow your abilities to speak for themselves. You are not there to compete for popularity. Making too much of an effort to be feared or respected. On the other hand, there is a desperate attempt to be feared or respected. Trying to be feared is no longer a good idea. Sure, some people relish the prospect of being the most terrifying person at a board meeting, but does that person make a good boss? Respect, on the other hand, is something that every good boss should receive from his or her employees. It cannot, however, be taken. It must be gained. Your actions, decisions, and performance will determine the level of respect you receive. Nobody is going to give you a lot of respect right away, unless they are looking for a quick promotion. Changing everything, even what works. When a new manager joins a sports team, many changes occur. Often, these are unneeded changes, such as firing great players simply because they were part of the previous regime. The same thing can happen in business. As a new boss, you must assess what is and isn't working. Systems that have taken years to perfect will be in place. Fix them if they aren't working. If they are, divert your attention elsewhere. The same is true for people. Know who the bad apples are, but don't throw out the good ones with them. Making unachievable promises. Presidential candidates who are elected frequently run afoul of this one. If you vote for me, I'll do X, Y, and Z. Then they get the job and discover there's a lot more to it than they ever imagined. The same is true if you become the new boss. Make no promises that are impossible to keep. You may believe you can truly fix the unfixable, or, from the outside, the very easily fixable, but there are forces at work that you cannot overcome. First, get a sense of the terrain. Inquire around. Determine what the employees want fixed before delving into the systems that can make it happen. Only then can you make promises that you have a good chance of keeping. Doing it blindly in your first week is not a good idea. You'll be known as the boss who couldn't get anything done. Assuming far too much. If you take on too much too soon, you risk jeopardizing the position you've just landed. It is preferable to take on a few tasks well than to say yes to everything and do a mediocre job. Worse, if you start interfering with their work, the employees will believe you don't trust them to do the jobs they've been doing for years. So, evaluate the tasks at hand and delegate the ones you don't need to be involved with. You'll be less stressed, and the staff will have more faith in you. Concentrating on short-term gains. The benefits in this case are not health, vision, or dental. Instead, these are immediate benefits to the company and its employees. Perhaps you notice a few simple fixes and implement them. However, you could be applying duct tape to a much bigger problem. People are content in the short term. However, if you simply toss the can down the road, you would have to pick it up at some point. And by that time, the problems will have only gotten worse. Consider the big picture. Yes, it may be simple to fix the bad cafeteria food or the unsightly wallpaper in the break room, but you may be wasting money that could be used to address a larger issue, one that will have a far greater impact when resolved. Refusing to ask for help. You are in charge. You are in command. But you're not perfect. You are not all-knowing. And, let's be honest, how could you if this is your first week on the job? Many managers believe that asking for help is a sign of weakness, but this couldn't be further from the truth. When you need help, ask for it, as long as it's not something you should already know. You don't want to ask how to use a spreadsheet if you've just been promoted to head of accounting. Ask for directions if you don't know where a department is. If you don't understand how a particular system or process works, convene a meeting with those who do. Then bring your knowledge to the table. Hiring and firing the incorrect people. It happens far too frequently, and it reflects poorly on corporate culture. A new manager is appointed, and they immediately begin firing people who irritate them and hiring people with whom they previously worked. While it's fine to bring in people you know can do the job well, give them a chance to prove themselves. It should take months to determine who is a good employee and who is floundering. Some people may be excellent in the wrong field. Others may have received insufficient training or been buried with enough work for 3 people. Examine the situation before pulling out the pink slips. Micromanaging every single operation. Inserting oneself into every single transaction is one of the most significant bottlenecks that a manager can create. A boss is not supposed to get so involved in the details. A boss, on the other hand, sees things from a much higher vantage point and allows trusted employees to get their hands dirty on smaller operations. If you insist on seeing every step of every process and requesting to be copied on every email, you will create a lot of friction. And you'll bring everything to a halt. Being the focus of attention. You did it, as far as you're concerned. You've gotten the job. You've gotten a big promotion. Your family is proud of you, and your friends are buying drinks at the bar. Enjoy it, but leave it outside the office. You don't want meetings where you tell everyone about yourself, your likes and dislikes, favorite TV shows, favorite color of socks, and all the industry awards you've won. Consider this a date. You should spend the first few weeks getting to know your team. They are your number one priority. You want to be captivated by their problems, as well as their hopes and dreams. It's not your show. Fearing failure. Failure is necessary for every business. You can't learn how to do something correctly until you've done it incorrectly several times. Managers who are new to the company or the role, on the other hand, are afraid of failing. They consider mistakes to be flaws, which can quickly lead to dismissal. Don't get caught in that trap. You must reach for the stars, even if it means falling flat on your face in the dirt. However, you will succeed far more often than you will fail, you will gain the respect of your colleagues, and you will make significant contributions to the company. Delay in major decisions. Your team is aware of the major issues you're dealing with. They're probably so familiar with them that they're just waiting for you to fix them. But don't push them. If you know someone needs to be fired because they are terrible at their job, don't put it off for months because it is difficult. If you need to upgrade your equipment but are concerned about the cost, address it head-on. Inform people that you are working on it. By making excuses and stalling, you will lose your employees' respect and become known as all talk and no action. Ignoring minor issues that can have a significant impact. You've heard the expression, "a stitch in time saves 9." It applies equally well in the workplace. Deal with minor problems or issues as soon as you become aware of them. For example, you may discover animosity between 2 members of staff. If you ignore it, it will grow into a much bigger issue. Perhaps the only way to solve it is to let one of them go. However, by addressing it early and clearing the air, you can prevent a minor issue from becoming a major one. Don't ignore minor issues with systems or processes, personnel, equipment, or anything else related to day-to-day operations. They'll be enormous before you know it. Failure to stay current on personal issues. In the first week, a new boss is not expected to know everything about every employee. However, a quick one-on-one with the team to determine any personal situations relevant to the job is essential. One employee, for example, appears to be off his game. He's not paying attention in meetings. He's avoided the rest of the office. He doesn't seem to be a good performer. However, it turns out that this is a fantastic employee who has recently suffered a tragic loss in the family. This represents an immediate paradigm shift. This is not only understandable, but also something you can help with. Within the first few weeks, make it a priority to get to know your staff, as well as their problems and concerns. I hope that this video is helpful for you. So do like and subscribe to our channel for more informative and leadership videos.